I analyzed over 100 different contractor logos from across the United States in order to make yours better. After literal days of analysis, I believe I have cracked the code to figure out what makes a logo stand out and why others fall flat. Sprinkled in throughout this video are 23 different golden nuggets, so be sure to be on the lookout for all of those throughout the video. And definitely be sure to stick around till the very end, because that is when I'm going to share with you the logo formula, trademark pending, to how to make your logo better. But before we're able to actually dive into the analysis, why does having a good logo even matter? After all, we have this comment by King Printmaker on a recent YouTube short that we put out that says the worse the logo is, the better the company. Well, let me ask you this. If you are looking to get your kitchen remodeled and all things are equal across two companies, they have the same pictures, same warranties, and same pricing, which contractor are you more comfortable with handing a $100,000 check to? Contractor A or Contractor B? 95% of you just said Contractor B, and the other 5% are lying. And if you thought option A was a fake logo, you're wrong. Option A is a real logo from a real contractor. Option B is the fake logo. That is why your logo matters. Logos are one of the important opportunities to leave a good first impression and build brand awareness. They're on your truck wrap, yard sign, door hanger, and on your social media. All avenues for prospects to discover your company for the very first time. Additionally, many contractors have a bad logo. While it does not impact the work that you can do, it does impact the feeling consciously or subconsciously that a consumer has about your business. This makes your logo an easy opportunity to get ahead of the competition. Hang on, I need to stop the video here. Before we go any further, we need to lay out some ground rules for this video to keep us on the same page when we talk about logo design. First, let's quickly define some parameters for the logo analysis. A logo is an image or icon that represents a company. We are defining a good logo as one that effectively communicates the brand of a company, and a bad logo is one that feels awkward or amateur that ultimately hurts the brand. Notice, I did not say a good logo is a high-end logo. Not every company is meant to be super luxurious or high-end, and that's okay. A remodeling company that leans into being more business casual is going to feel very different than a remodeling company that wants to be the Mercedes-Benz dealership of their area. As a reference point for these guidelines, let's take a look at these two clothing brands. First, we have H&M, using red, which is a bright, more fun color, and they have a more fun font. This gives off a more casual feel, and why when you go to H&M, you're going to walk out of there spending around $250 in total. Now, when we look at a high-end logo like Louis Vuitton, which has sharper shapes, more neutral colors, maybe some metallics, and a splash of color if needed, you're walking out of there spending $600 on a handbag alone. It's kind of like parenting. We all know parents who were more loose with their kids, and then there were parents that were a bit more strict. Maybe you wish your parents were the opposite, but that's the point. Just like there are different parenting styles, there are different company styles. The job of your logo is to be a visual representation of your company's style. Now that our baseline is set, let's dive into the analysis of some home remodeling logos. Between these two companies, which one would you hire based off of their logo? Option A or option B? Oh, and did I mention that these two companies are direct competitors with each other? From my seat here, I'm picking option B. To be honest, option B isn't even that great either. However, if your company name is Elite Home Remodeling and your logo doesn't feel elite, professional, or high-end, there's a mismatch that ultimately leads to an ineffective logo. Let's take a look at these two higher-end remodeling companies in Phoenix. We have Phoenix Home Remodeling, and then we have Remodel Experts. Both of these companies follow the high-end trait of using more neutral colors, but there is one thing that is really throwing me off. Their logos are grainy and pixelated. This mismatch in logo quality compared to how the company wants to be perceived is off. Again, creating an ineffective logo. But let's take a look at this awesome logo from Limitless Renovations in Atlanta. Their company isn't super high-end, but they still want to be professional and a little relaxed. This logo accomplishes that. Using blue as their colors makes them feel relaxed and inviting, and we have the outline of the house representing what they do, and the logo quality is very clear. This is a great example of an effective logo. Next, let's take a look at some outdoor living and landscaping logos. Starting off in Sacramento, let's look at Living Elements. Yes, this is real, and no, it was not my 3-year-old nephew's drawing. But look at what happens when we take the same logo concept and level it up just a little bit. How much more confidence do you have in this company instead? Do not have a hand-drawn logo. It's practically guaranteed to have your company come across as amateur or beginner. Moving along, let's take a look at these two companies in Tampa, Florida. First, we have Hive Outdoor Living, and next we have Terra Nova. Terra Nova gives off a more elegant feel, and Hive's logo looks like a tech company, not a contractor. Not to mention, Hive's logo does not give any indication of what it is that they do. If they added Hive Outdoor Living to their logo, it levels it up quite a bit because I can associate their shape of their logo with a beehive and then connect the dots to outdoor living. During my research, I saw a few landscaping companies that looked like this. And simply put, you're trying to do too much with the imagery. Instead, pick a single image that can best represent your brand. Truth be told, I actually really like the sun icon by itself. Before we move on to the next industry, here are 4 logos that look the same stylistically. They have an oval or circular shape with the business name and maybe some other business information inside of it. This looks and feels beginner. It looks like the decal that you would get on the side of your truck when you're first starting out. There's no imagery, it's text heavy, and it doesn't make me feel anything. If you're finding this video helpful so far, be sure to do us a favor and hit that like button down below. It really does help out the video. Now let's take a look at painting, and specifically this company in Seattle, and there's 2 problems that I want to talk about with their current logo. This is Eugene Painting. I love the vibrancy of their colors, but how it's presented will make it very hard to display on yard signs, truck wraps, and company shirts. I get that as a painting company, it's very enticing to want to put all of the colors of the rainbow into your logo. But as a painting company, it should be expected that you're able to paint these colors. You don't need to come out and show it. Additionally, their font being more handwritten clashes with their elegant fan of colors. Your font should match the imagery of your logo. Just know that fonts are very hard to dial in perfectly. But what if their logo looked like this? We take the same multicolor concept, scale it down to just 3 colors, and add a house to indicate that we are a home painting company. The painting logos that I studied really shocked me. I was expecting painting to be some of the best logos, and they were not. Take a look at Prestige Painting. They suffer from the same issues as Elite Home Remodeling. They have a high-end name and an average logo where nothing really stands out. Next, check out Miami South Painting. Pro tip here, it's not necessary to have your services listed in your logo. That's not the point of your logo in the first place. However, you can have your industry. The black outline around painting alone hurts them because it sticks out awkwardly when compared to the rest of their logo. Your logo should look and feel consistent across the board. They have a really cool opportunity to rebrand to stand out in their community. We know Miami is vibrant and fun, so let's lean into that by just recoloring their logo. Now, Miami South Painting has some personality to it, and they can have this logo in mind and get creative with their wraps, website design, social media templates, and yard signs. The next industry that I want to look at is electrical, and this is an industry that is really lagging behind when it comes to good logos. Of the dozen or so that I looked at, none of them were even average. This collection of logos shows that updating your logo is a very easy way to get a leg up on the competition because this is what you are competing against. For fun, here's a logo that I made for a fake company called Flash Electric. Compare this logo to one that I previously showed and it's not even close. Moving on to our next industry, let's talk about HVAC. Take a look at Best HVAC Repair and Service. Once again, we have another example of a logo that does not do the company name justice. How are you Best HVAC and you have nothing high-end about your logo? Most HVAC companies use red and blue as the colors of their logo, demonstrated here. The colors are generic, representing hot and cold, but is there a way to take this same concept and apply it differently? Here's C&G in St. Louis. Instead of using red and blue, they used yellow and blue instead. You have options to consider if you're an HVAC and want to separate yourself from the competition by using variants of blue and red. Consider a light blue and orange, a royal blue and yellow, or a navy and red. Down to our final 2 verticals, let's examine plumbing logos. Looking at Cal's Plumbing in Tucson, I love the retro feel with the modern design of this. We get asked all the time about having a mascot of some kind as a logo. I personally am a big fan of this, but the company needs to have a plan on what to do with that mascot. For example, with the right mascot, it can be your Mickey Mouse that you can put everywhere, on social media, on your truck, online, and really have it become the face of your brand. However, this is Stewart's Plumbing, one that also has a mascot figure that falls a bit flat. It's just too literal to stand out. I also found that most plumbing logos were just the business name. There were no visuals attached to it, which makes it really hard to feel something when you're looking at their logo. My favorite of the bunch has to be Shaw Plumbing Services in Spokane, Washington. The S as the pipe is awesome and is perfect for a social media logo. Lastly, let's move on to ponds, and this was an industry that I felt was really hit or miss when it came to quality logos. Here are two competitors in the Newark area. We have Lily Pad's Pond and Landscapes, and we have Atlantis Water Gardens. Forget Atlantis Water Gardens being one of the best pond logos I've seen, they're one of the best that we have shown in this whole video. Whereas Lily Pad Ponds and Landscapes looks amateur with their hand-painted logo. An example where two logos are great in their own ways is in Memphis, Tennessee, where we have Mid-South Ponds and Memphis Water Gardens. Both of these logos fit their companies. Mid-South Ponds leans towards being more business casual and fun, whereas Memphis Water Gardens leans into being a bit more higher end to match their brand. The reason that both of these logos work is because they fit the mold of what the company wants to be, similar to the H&M and Louis Vuitton example from earlier in the video. At this point, we've explored over 40 logos in this video, and now I want to bring your attention to the logo formula. An effective logo is the result of the colors, fonts, imagery, and presentation of a logo aligning with the desired feel or tone of the company. Think of this as a bridge connecting one landmass to another. On one side of the bridge, you have your company tone, and on the other side is how your customer perceives you, or the effectiveness. The bridge consists of 4 segments: your colors, fonts, imagery, and presentation. You need all 4 pieces to align in order to match your company tone and have an effective logo. The moment that one of these is out of line, the entire company is misrepresented and the logo becomes ineffective, leaving a gap between how you think of your company and how your prospects think of your company. Before you even create your logo, you need to start off by defining the feel and tone of your company. From there, you can work backwards to create your logo. A few years ago, when we hired a brand consultant to redesign our logo at CGN, Logan and I spent the first 4 weeks of the program filling out worksheets and hopping on Zoom calls to dial in our brand feeling. It was that important. Now that you know all about logos, click this video right here to learn all about getting your truck wrapped.